My name's Carmen. My brother is an addict, was an addict. And this morning I um, before I came here to Al-Anon, I was a cook. I mean, I'm still a cook, just a different sort of cook, I guess. My brother and I used to cook together a lot when we were kids. Food was our common language. We wanted to open a restaurant. We had the name, we had the vibe, all of it. My brother was the kind of person who could make you feel confident in yourself. Like when I was scared and I didn't feel like doing something, he would just tell me to face it. He would tell me to, he would just tell me to let it rip. He was loud, he was hilarious. And he had this amazing ability, he could walk into a room and just sense the temperature of it instantly and dial in. He was amazing. I mean, I'm not built like that, man. I didn't have a lot of friends while I was growing up. I used to stutter because I was scared to speak all the time. I got shitty grades because I couldn't pay attention in class. I didn't get into college. Didn't ever have a boyfriend. I don't even think I'm funny, man. But I always thought that my brother was my best friend. That I knew everything about him. Except that everyone thought that he was their best friend. He was that magnetic. I never knew that he was doing drugs. What does that say? A few years later, I realized that I didn't know anything about him. And then suddenly he just stopped letting me to the restaurant, into our restaurant. And and that hurt because we had this common connection through food, and he used that to make me feel shitty and rejected and uncool and crappy. I think it just flipped a switch or something in me, and I went like, okay, fine, fuck you, watch me. And I made this plan that I was gonna go and work in all the real restaurants across the world, like fuck mom and dad's piece of shit. I was gonna work in real kitchens. That ought to tell him. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous now when I say that, but that's what I did. And I got the shit kicked out of me, man. I separated herbs, I shoved oysters, clams, unis, my hand got burnt all the time. My skin was dry and oily at the same time. I had pepper and onions and garlic and chilies in my fingernails, and it would go into my eyes and it would burn my skin even more. I had calluses on my fingers because of all the knives, and my stomach was always fucked, always. And it took everything. It was everything. But then few years later, I finally found my station. You know, I was not afraid. I got fast, and I felt like I was okay. You know, for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged there in the kitchen. I knew what vegetables went together. I knew protein, sauces, temperature, all of that. And whenever a new chef would walk into our kitchen to start, I would look at him like he was competition. Like, you know, I tell myself that I'm gonna smoke that motherfucker. I feel like I could finally speak through food, that I could communicate through creativity. And and that sort of confidence, you know, like when you find that, it's everything, man. That it's just, and I wanted him to know that. And I wanted him to tell me, good job, little sister. But he just never responded. The more strained our relationship got, I realized that the more people I cut away from my life, the quieter my life got. The more deeper I got into food, the better I got. So fine, I'll just keep doing that. And the routine of the kitchen, it is it is so numbing and exacting and chaotic and loud and hectic that I just I lost track of time. And then he died, and he just left this restaurant to me. That's it. Just like that. No words, no goodbyes, just the restaurant. That's what I've been doing since the past couple of months, trying to fix that shitty place because it's in a really rough shape. And I think it's pretty clear that me trying to fix the restaurant is just me trying to fix whatever I had going on with him. I don't know, maybe hoping that this will even fix my family. But the truth is that that shitty restaurant, it meant something to people. Yeah, it definitely did. It meant something to the customers, to the staff, to the vendors, to me. I, I just don't know if it ever meant anything to him.